I don't care if all your guardians been waiting for Lightfall all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista Smoke Down fam with all the dankest of dank shit on my left. Oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
Do you know the way?
Rafiki know the way. All right. On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choking people out on threes and fours, Chronos.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Well, I just got the notification. We are. YouTube knows that we're live. Good shit. Back up in this motherfucker. Blue is out in the wild with his family, doing his thing. Stitch is in the wind, doing his thing. But we got a trifecta here for y'all.
What happened here?
Uh-oh. Problems?
No, it'll get fixed in a second here.
All right.
There's a problem with YouTube again because, you know, YouTube's going to YouTube.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. So while he's doing that, then let's switch it up a little bit then, old ninja. You usually pour out something malty, frothy, brownie?
Not this week. Last week we had a plethora of our dearly departed, but this week I have nothing to report. Plus, I think y'all deserved a break.
Yeah. All right. Good enough. Still no.
Nope, it's working. We're good. We're good.
Okay, cool.
All right. Listener of the week would be Carlson Durkin. So thank you very much for listening. We definitely appreciate it. And first in the chat would be my lovely oldest daughter. So,
awesome.
It's weird that I say oldest because I have more than one kid. That's always gonna be weird to me. Just having kids, plural.
There you go. Oh man, we got so much to get into. God damn it, this week. Holy fucking shit.
That we do. It was actually rather eventful over the past week, and for gaming especially because of Gamescom started. I believe it was yesterday. Was day one? Was the first night?
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of stuff. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, extra mind blowing, but there were some definite, you know, good announcements that were cool. So, did y'all watch any of this?
I saw some of the highlights of it. This is the one over in Germany, right?
Yeah, somewhere in Europe. It's all Europe. Probably in Germany, sure.
All right.
I'm gonna start treating all of Europe like they treat Africa. It's just all the same place.
There you go.
Damn.
It's a country, right? Europe.
There you go. One big ass country. Let's go. Where do you want to start first in terms of stuff that was most exciting?
For me, there was a few things that were, you know, sort of exciting. I gotta say the Callisto Protocol continues to look amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you liked what was the Dead Space? If you like Dead Space at all, like this is right up your goddamn alley. Like it's just like Dead Space. It's dank as fuck. There's a lot of gore. It's creepy. A lot of really cool lighting effects. Really messed up deaths so far. I was a minor fan of the first, you know, Dead Space. I didn't complete the game, unfortunately. I play a lot of games.
Shit, really?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I just, you know, didn't get a chance to beat it. But I didn't like it. It was just creepy, you know?
Yeah, it is creepy. But the thing about the end is there's a huge twist, a major twist. And I was like, oh, it's like on the level of BioShock.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why it resonated. It's kind of weird because in the second game, it's co-op. Or, I'm sorry, the second game has a co-op story. So there's two campaigns. There's a co-op story and a single-player story. And I guess they intertwine kind of. So, and then part 3, I think, is co-op as well. I have all 3. I've only beaten the first one, though. So, there you go.
Another cool game that got you know more press was, excuse me, I'm very sorry about that. I had to burp. That's probably really grossing your ears. Sorry. Is Hogwarts Legacy, which is if you're a Harry Potter fan. Oh yeah. Even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, this game looks fucking dope. So, I for one am a Harry Potter fan. I read all the books, and I've watched all the movies. And yeah, this looks amazing. It looks like you were getting a Harry Potter game that is worthy of the book series. You know, even though people have a problem with, you know, J.K. Rowling as like a turf right now, She still wrote a pretty good book series, in my opinion. So none of that, exclusionary stuff was in her books. So I just kind of let it go.
Now I know they had a whole bunch back in like the aughts and the heyday of Harry Potter, like some Lego tie-ins
Mm-hmm.
and probably even some movie tie-ins that were non-Lego. How were those? I played none of them.
I didn't play any of the. I mean, the Lego games are Lego games. They're Lego games. And they're not bad. They're not great, but they're Lego games. And but
There's one that's great, but
really, okay.
yeah, Skywalker Saga is pretty great.
I mean, but they all
So,
follow basically the storyline of the material, right? So they're not
oh
like
yeah, yeah.
there's very few original Lego games like that. Like they're not going to take a franchise and then build upon the franchise with a Lego game. As far as I've seen, somebody could correct me if you want. I just haven't seen that. So
I guess maybe the Lego Batman stuff, because it seems like they have original stories,
okay,
like
that's fair.
Lego Batman 2, because like you have to fight like a Joker mech, where Lex Luthor built it with Joker and they terrorized Gotham, and it seems original to me. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen anything like that where Batman and Superman have to team up to take down Joker and Lex and their mega mega mech or their Joker mech and a bunch of stuff. And there's also other characters that pop up as well. So I feel like they used an original story and just used the Lego characters to make a DC story.
But
Pretty
non-Lego
funny.
though. But non-Lego though with Potter, were there any games that you guys have played and enjoyed for
N-
the Potter franchise?
no, no.
No.
Okay. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this. I mean, it seems like it's a long time coming. It's a huge franchise. Don't they
Yeah,
have the whole section of Universal Studios dedicated to nothing but Potter, right?
yeah, and it's amazing.
Mm.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
went there a few years back. I think my youngest was like maybe two, probably like
Okay.
one.
Damn.
So yeah, she was pretty young.
Wait, Prodigy, did you not see the it had a showcase that was like 45 minutes like a few months ago?
All I did,
Did
no, I didn't see the whole showcase for it. I saw maybe an extended trailer, and it looked really good, looked fun all the way around. But I didn't see like the whole non-trailery stuff for it. I'm just kind of waiting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this Hogwarts Legacy looks like this is a Potter like RPG. Like
Mm.
you start from you build your own character, you get sorted into your own house. I don't know how much you weigh in on which house you go into. You like have your own room, but then you get a room off campus that you can build, make potions, make serums, and all kinds of stuff. You get to add and collect stuff. You can uh, have your little. I guess you get a what's the like your own kind of Dobby
Mm.
type. Is he a
a,
goblin? I can't
a
remember.
house elf, you fucking plebe.
Whatever. He gets so he gets to help you maintain your off campus like uh, uh dorm as well as accompany you on missions. You can explore the campus. There's hidden stuff, puzzles, all kinds of stuff. Combat is crazy. You get
Are
to
you
learn.
are you
What's that?
Potter in this, or are you a
No,
character that you
this is
create?
a 100 years before. It takes place in the 1800s,
That's right. Okay.
like late 1800s. And yes, you create your own character. Um, it looks super amazing. Like there's some characters that are alive in the game that are on the wall in the films that are like in the paintings and stuff. The what are they? I can't remember what they call them, but they're like kind of like a Myrtle,
Yeah.
where they're like haunting the place. I don't know if you meet her in the game. You might. I kind of doubt it because it might be before her time even too. But there's a lot piled into this game, and I mean I'm not a huge Potter fan, but I'm excited about this game. I was looking forward to this. So it looks like it got pushed back until 2023. So
Yeah, good
seems
shit. We'll have to wait patiently. We'll have to wait patiently. Um, the other real big one, this is what I was looking forward to, and I've been playing a whole lot with Old Ninja of late. Destiny 2 had a huge ass fucking showcase.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was watching, Gamescom, like, I watched like the whole opening thing. and I was watching the game. I was like, "What game is this? This looks really interesting." Turns out it was fucking Destiny, and it's a DLC. I think it's called Lightbringer, right? And
No, so
Lightfall.
Lightfall.
so
Okay.
there's Lightfall dropping next year, but they had a good trailer for it. But then there's all kind of stuff like this pirate shit going on right now with Destiny 2. Free DLC for like a week. They got stuff where they made it easier to find a fire team, on your strikes and raids.
That'll be on the next. That's in the next update that comes out in February.
Okay.
But yeah.
But it's coming soon. They talked about Taken King something coming soon.
So it's the if you're a Destiny connoisseur, the Taken King raid King's Fall will be live this Saturday. It won't be the same raid like Vaulted Glass, but it'll be very, very similar. There's already maps from Destiny 1 that involved the King's Fall stuff already in Destiny 2 that went live yesterday. So there's already stuff coming in.
And then the other thing was they said no sunsetting of the expansions. I guess that was something that pissed off the whole fan base. I took a break from Destiny for years and years and years, old Ninja. So were the fans really disappointed in that previously?
Yeah, sunsetting stuff basically means you couldn't reuse these weapons. They were stuck at a low level. They weren't going to get any improvements or adjustments. They just sat there in your vault, and they kept doing that to Basically, it enabled weapons that you may have been fans of or that you use frequently. They would basically become inert. I mean, you could use them, but they wouldn't do shit. So now they promise people that, hey, the stuff that you like, we're not going to fuck with it anymore. We're just going to let you keep playing with the stuff that you like, and you'll be able to upgrade it to, current status and stuff, which makes the fans happy because they don't. It's like you pick a loadout with the weapons that you like, and all of a sudden you can't use that stuff anymore. So that's kind of disappointing.
That's cool. And then the last one that I saw that was kind of interesting, still from the Destiny 2 standpoint, was partnering with the game being available on the Epic Store and Fortnite. Destiny 2 characters that we all love and know in Fortnite, and I think even in Fall Guys, if I'm not mistaken. I don't play Fall Guys at all, but
yeah, it's in Fall. I think there's another one too. I think there's a third game. Fall Guys, Fortnite, and I think there's one more. But yeah, you get the skins and stuff. Also, the reverse, you get some Fortnite skins in Destiny. You get helmets and stuff, but they made it Destiny style. Some of them are actually really cool. Some of them will be available. Some of them are already available right now if you are impatient and you want to pay for it. But if you wait, you'll be able to just pick them up in game over the coming weeks. And then the Epic Game Store one, because I wasn't aware it wasn't available on there, but you get one of the DLCs that's valued at $30-$40. You get it for free on the Epic Store, yesterday. So there you go.
The game's been fun to play, man. I got back into it last couple weeks, and the whole crossplay and strikes and raids and Gambit, which is that mode that's 4-on-4 and not quite PvP. It's more PvE, but you can invade both at the same time. It's both. Yeah, that shit is fun. Well, it feels good.
Well, for the Gamescom stuff, the this new Lightfall DLC, it looked nothing like Destiny. I was like, what is this brand new game? It looks really interesting. And then at the end, it was just like, oh yeah, it's Destiny 2 DLC. I was like, what the it's not even the same color palette. It's neon and shit. And they have whole new villains. They have this person with fucking smoke coming out of their head that looks like skulls and shit. I was like, this looks really dope. Yeah, and another villain looked basically like a fat ass tumor. I was just like, all right.
Yeah. So he's basically a space sultan. So he's part of when Destiny 2 first dropped, he was in the first raid. He's like this dude. Literally, when you fight him, he's sitting on a mountain of gold, gold coins. He's got all kinds of stuff, and he's drinking out of this gold chalice, and you got to take him out. He gets real mad because you're in his treasure room and whatnot. It's pretty awesome.
Apparently, he's okay.
He is okay. So he's getting an upgrade. So they teased him, but they didn't really show his full like upgraded thing. So he's gonna be pretty fucked up to deal with. I'm pretty sure in the next season. Also they talked about there's like a new. I don't know if they're humans. I guess it's a race of humans that are on Neptune because we're getting Neptune in this DLC that nobody knew about. Everyone thought that they were like humanity was stuck on Earth, but no. There's like this huge city on Neptune that's thriving. It's I guess a utopia, and then the Guardians find out about them, and they end up going there, end up breaking shit, trying to fix shit. So should
Dude,
be interesting.
I'll say this. Like when I left Destiny 2, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, a year after launch or whatever, it was a totally, like Kronos kind of alluded to this, but it was a totally fucking different game. There's so many more planets, there's so many more modes, there's so many more things to do on this game. I had to like understand how to play and how to even navigate the big ass fucking map because it was so fucking busy.
But did you figure out how to double jump yet?
Nope.
Not quite.
He didn't. Nope, he cannot. And it's messed
that shit
up.
Is weird, man.
He be holding us back. I'm like, dude, seriously, we have to like
weird.
push forward to it pulls him with us. I'm like, bro, you need to figure out your jump and shit.
It's a weird game. It's a weird double jump with the what's it, the Warlock or whatever.
Yeah, Warlock has a different kind of jump.
But yeah, man, this shit looks fucking fun. And I guess the other thing for me is the fact that it's free to play. Just and with the crossplay or whatever, just makes it so that you can jump on there even if you haven't played it in years and get up to speed, fucking build up your light level quickly as fuck, especially with a good clan and some folks that know what the fuck they're doing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been playing it nearly every fucking night.
Actually, on that same vein, we're going to detour for a second or a few minutes anyway away from Gamescom. Still talking about games though. This is something that Prodigy just brought up is like being able to like get things for free and try things out for free. One of the things that's really cool about the new PlayStation Plus like tiers and all that shit is that they're bringing back actual demos of games. And it's basically you can play. So I got a roller dome, and you can play basically you play the game for 35 minutes for free. And I thought it was like really cool because I wanted to get into like play. I wanted to see what it was all about. And basically, it's Tony Hawk meets fucking John Wick.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah,
you shoot people on skateboards.
No, well, you shoot people on roller skates. So it's yeah, but they're in like the arenas are like skate parks. And you had to kill people, and I'm just like, it's super interesting, like getting health back and getting ammo back by doing tricks and all this shit, and like killing people. It's like super cool. I only got to play a little bit of it so far, because I played it, but then I realized that I lost one of my HDMI 2.1 cables, and so like when I first turned on my PS5, I was like, oh man, I missed like vibrant fucking screens and shit like that, and then I went to go play the game, and the screen just turned off. I was like, God damn it. I was like, what I was like, oh, that's right. It's an old fucking cable. So I've eventually, like, I played the game with, like, the old cable, and it looked like basically like a PS4 Pro game. I was just like, okay. And then I found my, another cable. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's, like, cel-shaded. It's really fun to play. It's a really cool mix of, like, two different games. I thought it was cool. I'll probably buy it, but then I got Saints Row. So I'll talk about Saints Row later. I just want to talk about like demos. You can play demos of full games for like a certain amount of time for free on PlayStation Plus. The highest tier I think it is. So which is cool.
I think they call them the trials though, right? Or trials.
Yeah, they're
right?
trials. But they're like, I remember like it's weird how today they're kind of making a comeback, but back in the day, like you got free fucking games. Like when you went to like Software Etc., they would just toss a disc in with the fucking or when you got a magazine, they toss a disc in with your shit. For free demos.
For those of you who might be too young to understand, Software Etc. was a store. It was pre-GameStop.
Yep.
So some of you didn't know.
I used to work there back in the day.
Yeah. So the Callisto project is Kronos had talked about earlier.
Protocol.
Callisto Protocol. Sorry, it's actually made by the team that made Dead Space. So that's why it looks like Dead Space.
Yeah.
So they left EA like a group of developers, and then
they left this because Visceral. They were part of Visceral. Visceral got shut down. Then they made a new studio, which I guess is still owned by EA. It has a name on here. I don't see the name of the studio, but yeah, they're working on this. I guess it was supposed to be linked to another game, but in development they cut the link. I don't know. I have to double check, but it was supposed to be like a prequel to a different game. But then they stopped the connection and just like fixed it through the story. They're just gonna make it its own thing, which is cool.
I like
I
the
guess there's a
weapons.
bunch.
The weapons they showed so far is really cool because like one of the things I liked about the first Dead Space was like they had like that weird gun that was like it shot like a line sort of.
The
The
cutter.
nail gun, right?
Yeah.
No, the cutter, the 3-beam thing. You could change it to
Yeah.
horizontal and shoot shit. That shit
Yeah.
was dope.
That was like really innovative. And then in this one they have like this gun. It's a gun, but basically it's like a gravity gun. Like you can pull somebody in to you and then throw them somewhere. And in the demo that they showed for Gamescom, they would use like parts of the environment to like basically just eviscerate fucking enemies. Like they had like these spinning fucking meat grinders that the guy would just like pull them in and just toss them in the fucking meat grinder and just watch them get meat grinded. So
Well,
I'm excited. I love
the
me
other
some
thing-
Dead Space.
The other thing I remember about Dead Space, and I played it 1, 3. I don't think I played 2. I think I played only 1 and 3. But the main character, he was like a reluctant hero. You know what I mean? Like he
Dude,
Yeah.
the main character, it's literally fucking aliens. He's an
Yeah.
engineer. He's an
Yeah, I was gonna
engineer
say,
going to
engineer.
investigate a colony, and he comes to find out that the colony found something that went them go full on fucking Event Horizon, full on Event Horizon,
But
and
he's
you're
not-
dealing with what's up.
He's nothing like he's not like Doom guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of
He's an engineer. What he
Yeah.
does, he uses his tools as weapons. His weapons are engineering tools. They're used to
Exactly.
weld and fix shit. But because of these things that are trying to kill him, he makeshifts them into weapons. So that what are the tools that are used to build, he has to use them to destroy in order to save his life. Not only that, his girlfriend, I guess, who he left on bad terms with, is on this colony. So his main motivation is to find her and rescue her, and then rescue as many people as he can. But things go real bad along the way, so
Look,
it's all bad.
you got to get that space pussy.
well, yeah, I mean that's the best kind, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
See, I want to say this is what's weird about having like I know my daughter's in the chat, so I just
Yeah, you're all trying to.
try not to
Being responsible.
I mean space pussy is good pussy, right?
Damn. I mean, if you watch the Expanse, it sure does look like it. Fuck.
What's so
We got to talk about some of these other ones
real
too.
quick. The Callisto Protocol is kind of similar because I think the main character is actually a prisoner. So
okay.
he's definitely not a hero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. It starts with a jailbreak. The original
Yeah.
trailer, he's in jail and there's a jailbreak. It's all bad.
We'll see.
Where-
All right, where were you trying to take us, Old Ninja?
Some of the other stuff that's on here, Chronos brought up because there's more than one Dune game, but this one showed up was
Yeah.
Dune Awakening, which is like this Dune RPG, open world MMO actually. It's an
Yeah,
MMO.
it's an MMO
shit.
survival RPG, and so like those three things together have me like when I first watched, it, I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then it said Dune Awakening survival MMO, and I was like, "Ah."
Wait, I know what a survival game is. What other survival MMO are there? Maybe I don't play enough of them.
I mean, there's not a lot. There's probably some like Valheim? Vanaheim's one of them. It's kind of survival-y ish. There's a few out there, but they're not super popular for my demographic anyway.
Because
So
they're probably like really long.
well, it's just I don't want to worry about food and water and shit when I'm playing a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I worry about that shit in real life because I don't want to fucking die. But in a video game, I try to suspend reality, right? So I can have some fun and blow shit up.
Yeah.
So,
well, I always
okay,
think
yeah.
about-
So, if you played Ark is definitely an
Ooh, that's
MMO
solid.
survival game.
But
They're
wait,
saying
hold
that
on.
DayZ is one. I don't
let me
know.
make sure I get it though. Like taking limited resources makes it that element of a survival game.
Well, no, survival
what
is
they're
like
using?
you need things to survive, other
Mhm.
than just killing stuff. Like you need resources to survive, like food, water, shelter, shit like that. You'll get tired. You know,
Oh,
you could
okay.
die from elements usually.
Okay. So there was some of that even in Fallout 4 in a
Mhm.
weird way.
Yeah, and there was some, and it's definitely not like disease and stuff like that. But it wasn't like a core part of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it had like radiation and shit too, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But that fit for me was like poison. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. All right. So we'll see about that. That sounds like a lot going on. Like I didn't see that trailer. Did you like it
I mean,
or what?
it looked really cool, but it's just it's all CGI. So
Mm.
It's
so
all
it's hard,
trailer stuff.
yeah, it's hard to say like what the real game footage. There was literally zero game footage, but what they showed was basically, a worm just eating up an entire like building, and then a dune a Fremen pulls out his fucking worm hooks and then hops on this worm as it ascends into the heavens or whatever, which looks dope, but it tells me literally nothing about the game. So
Mm.
I want some of the younger folks to understand this. For 30, 35 years, however the fuck long it is, we've always gotten trailers that look really, really good and
Yeah.
CGI and whatnot. And like savvy gamers know this. You need to see actual gameplay footage. And even that sometimes can be beefed up on a super high-end PC that costs $50,000. Like,
hold on, let's give recent memory for all the fetuses out there. All right, Cyberpunk 2077, perfect
I was just
example.
about to say, trying to tell y'all, they got us.
it's almost a trope in and of itself, like to
Yeah.
try to fool people and whatnot. And I get it. You want to advertise, you want to get people excited. I'm all for it, but everybody should always be skeptical of trailers. Like it, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have what you're going to see in your living room or even on your PC, high-end PC,
and then
in the trailer.
And then sometimes things just get totally overshadowed. So like I was watching a video the other day about one of my favorite games, not of all time, but it's up there. Was the latest Mad Max game. It was fucking amazing, but like nobody played it, and I was like, why didn't I? Remember when I got it and I was like singing accolades about it. I was like, it was like Batman meets like Mad Max because it had like a similar like action to it, and it was like really good. But like nobody fucking played it. And then I watched a video, and the reason why nobody played it, you want to know why? What do you know what came out the same fucking week as that game?
I don't remember. Was it Call of Duty?
No, it was fucking Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh yeah.
So like that's the reason why nobody fucking played the game was because MGS5 came out, and like people were like, obviously that's a way better game, but this game was not bad. I would say this Mad Max was like probably a B plus or an A, and then MGS5 was like just an A plus, our S class, So
yeah. I mean, Prodigy and we saw the game.
Yep.
It was in a room, so the room had Tomb Raider. I think the second one it had Mad Max, and I was playing Recore. Recore was another game there, and like these games, pretty much like Tomb Raider took a hit because it came out at a very bad window, and it should have came out either earlier or later on in the year. It was a great game, but because these other games overshadowed it, nobody played. Very few people played. So and then Mad Max looked great. There was a line to play Mad Max. They had like 6 TVs, 6 consoles that had all these people lined up to play at each one, and I'm actually surprised because it looked dope. We didn't stay to play, but I was watching people play. I'm like, dang, wish I could play this.
Refresh my memory. This was like maybe a year or two after that really great movie Fury Road.
Yes,
right?
That was one of the things. It's like they just fucked up when the game dropped. If they would have just dropped it like a month after MGS5, it would have probably been like a way better hit. But they need to take the video game industry needs to take cues from the movie industry when it comes to like actually timing when a game drops, because it's very similar. With it. Actually, it's even worse because with games, like if you have a really good game, somebody's gonna play that game solid for at least a fucking week, at least a week. You know what I mean? Like most people are gonna play it solidly for. So don't sit there and try to put up, your good game up against a fucking titan of the entire industry. Like that's just it's nonsense, and that's why Mad Max took a huge hit. But if you get a chance to play Mad Max, I think it's just called Mad Max. Get a chance to play that game. Like it's probably super cheap right now. It was free on fucking PSN Plus for a while. But you can find it cheap for to download it or just find a cheap physical copy. I would 100% recommend it. You will have fun. I had so much fun playing that fucking game.
Yeah. And I'll just remind everybody too, like October and November are usually like the prime time, especially for shooters, but just a prime time for like truly AAA games. Yes, you can try and compete with the big boys, but you know, it's really fucking hard. December and January are a little bit easier.
A little.
Go ahead.
A little. I was gonna say I just agreeing a little, but not a whole lot. Like that's what happened to Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider came out a week after Modern Warfare and Battlefield had came out, like within a week or two. I think Battlefield was like maybe 3 weeks, and then a week after, or 3 weeks, then Modern Warfare, and then 2 weeks after was Tomb Raider. Nobody was playing. Everyone was playing Battlefield or Modern Warfare or both.
Well, you know what's interesting? Kind of a thing that isn't really a thing anymore as much. Like back in the day, the summertime was like basically a lull in all of gaming. There would be literally like no games out in the summer, and that's just not the case anymore. Even throughout all of COVID, we still had games coming out in the summertime that were like AAA games.
Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, dropped in the summertime. Yeah,
we did. Really quick, I don't know if you've seen this, Cronus, but there's some new Tales from the Borderlands stuff coming in October.
I did see that, but I'm not a big Telltale game person. I'm like one of those people. It's to me, it's like choose your own adventure, and I'm like that's cool for like a book. But it's just that's not when I play a game. I want some sort of like I need an extra layer of interactivity with it for me to like really enjoy it.
When they did Batman though, Blue was all about that stuff. He loved the Telltale stuff.
I played the Borderlands one. That one was one of my at the time it was just below Borderlands 2 for me. Like I really liked that Telltale ones. Some Telltale were absolute shit, and all of them have a terrible engine. Like it will fucking crash on you mid decision.
Oh man,
you know. But I'm curious. The other thing though with Telltale, what was it? 3-4 years back, 5 years back? I can't fucking remember. It looked like they were about to go bankrupt or had a whole bunch of fucking money problems. So
yeah, but speaking of which, they're also got another game. So the Expanse is getting their first game.
Before we talk about that real quick, I need to take a note of the name of the Borderlands Telltale game. The new one is literally called New Tales from the Borderlands. It's not called Tales of the Borderlands 2. It's not called Tales of the Borderlands, some other bullshit. It's just called New Tales from the Borderlands. It's super lazy, but also it's fucking awesome. Go ahead.
Just keep it moving.
But Telltale's doing an Expanse game with the actors, writers, and developers all working together. They're looking to put this out in summer of 2023. There was some pre-alpha stuff showed at Gamescom. I know B-Boy, who we game with a lot, he was really excited. He asked me if I saw this. I was supposed to speak on it. I missed my chance of watching it, but I do like the Expanse, and they haven't had a game yet, and it is by Telltale, so this could work.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see what they got, because there's some good action, there's some good space espionage and decisions and shit, and some politics and all of that. I'm glad for that franchise, man. Whatever they can do to keep that thing going, because it's awesome on Amazon. They got all the old seasons, even the ones from Sci-Fi back in the day. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Hopefully they can come together and make this really good. When does it drop? Like later this year or early next year?
No, summer of 2023 that's their target window.
Okay, they got plenty of time.
There's no full release date, but we'll see. Should be interesting.
One of the things that I loved about the Expanse from like the jump is like how modern science fiction-y that it is. So they have spaceships, but they don't have fucking shields per se, right? So if they go into like combat, they have to like basically put on spacesuits and then decompress the entire fucking ship and then hope that they don't get fucking shot. Because if they don't decompress the whole ship and they get shot, then the fucking ship explodes or implodes. Or one or the other. It would be a bad day for everybody involved.
Both. Yeah, I'm about to say it's probably both. You implode and explode at the same time. Like the implosion will cause an explosion.
My favorite thing about the Expanse is always going to be, I think it was season 1, maybe season 2, but where they showed the effects on the human body of being born in no gravity.
Yeah.
And they were fucking all elongated and looked all fucking alien-like. And it was a human, but like if you're used to gravity's effect on your body from, before while you're in the womb and shit. And the other thing that really got me with the Expanse,
torture.
well, yeah, that was brutal. But the other thing that got me with the Expanse is when they were talking, I think it was the Belters talking to each other, and they were just like, you know what? I don't know how old I am, really and truly, because a year is about the Earth and going around the sun and whatnot. I wasn't even born on the fucking planet, and that just fucking blew my mind.
Yeah.
So the little tidbits of fucking science in there were excellent on that show, and I hope they add that to the game.
It's funny because there's a Martian year. A Martian year is,
yeah,
I think, longer than it's different than an Earth year or solar year.
Well, even like a Martian year or any year other than Earth years, it's almost irrelevant to the human body. There would have to be like I think in some sci-fi things they use like was it called EU or something like that?
Oh,
or EY
yeah,
or something like that. It's like
they do use the EU. Yeah,
they convert it.
They use it in Mass Effect.
Yeah,
because they convert it into Earth years or whatever, or Earth. I think it's Earth units.
Earth units, yeah.
I think that's what they converted to. So it's like, but they talk about that planet's particular solar year and the conversion to an Earth year, an Earth unit. So I was like, oh, Mass Effect does that shit all the time, which is pretty interesting.
Mass Effect did a really good job with sci-fi too, but obviously that was like way further in the future sci-fi.
Oh yeah. Some more. Getting back to more Gamescom stuff. Did y'all see some of this? I don't know if Prod you got a chance to see this, but this craziness, High on Life fucking game. This is basically Rick and Morty in space again, but you're like a side character where like all the guns talk to you and shit. One of them spits out its kids at people as bullets or some shit. Holy shit! This is fucking wild.
They have a knife that just wants to stab people. They just it literally talks to you about stabbing people.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
It's so weird. It's this first-person shooter craziness. It sounds like Rick and Morty. It looks like Rick and Morty, but it's not Rick and Morty. It's so weird, but it looks amazing. It has really crazy quips. I'm like, dude, but it looks like it plays smooth. I'm like, this looks like a decent first-person shooter set in the Rick and Morty universe, but even though it's not Rick and Morty. But yeah, they dropped a new trailer for Gamescom. I guess this is supposed to drop, I think early next year. Oh no, December 13th. There you go, and towards the end of the year. So
I would imagine that's gonna have a pretty good storyline because I think it's Dan Harmon is the guy who's like the main writer, right?
Justin Roiland.
But Dan Harmon is involved in the project, though, right?
Yeah, they're
probably.
They're co-writers, right?
Yeah, they're definitely like attached to the hip with the shit.
Yeah, so Dan Harmon, he does a really cool thing about like the modernized hero's journey. And if you ever look up his like Dan Harmon hero's journey and then read like the hero's journey and then go back and watch every single episode of Rick and Morty, and you're gonna be like, oh, these are all like all the elements are there. And also in like most stories, especially like more fantastical stories, like that's the hero's journey. I think it's like really cool. Especially they have an episode literally about the hero's journey, but most people that don't I'm not a fucking writer. I aspire to be someday, maybe if I have like way more time, but they actually have an episode that's just about the hero's journey and like how they fuck it up. And it's just like, and it's amazing, and they still wrap it up in like a really cool way. It's the one about the I think it's a train episode.
Yeah, they're on the it's funny because I just watched Bullet Train. Yeah. It's on a train. So it's funny because Bullet Train's very similar. Like, I mean, they don't break the fourth wall and stuff, but they do talk about the hero's journey without saying it's the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Good shit. Anything?
There's a couple more. Everyone's been talking about. Everyone's been getting in my face about it. I'm not a fan of this genre, but it's Lies of P, which is this Bloodborne, gothic Pinocchio story.
Pinocchio.
Yeah, Lies of P, Lies of Pinocchio, but it's a Bloodborne game set in the like, I guess the Pinocchio style, or it's the Pinocchio story set in the Bloodborne kind of universe. It looks fucked up. It like has the Bloodborne style mechanics and whatnot. Everyone's super excited about it, especially all these Souls fans. Everyone keeps like saying like, "Oh, this looks, like great. They can't wait for it." I'm not a Souls fan, but it does look fucking good. I will say I don't plan on playing it, but it does look pretty excellent. Trailer's already out. Looks pretty crazy. They have the guy who looks like Geppetto, like this 18th century top hat and monocle and stuff. He looks pretty cool. He looks kind of Hideo Kojima inspired, but it looks pretty crazy.
I'm about to check this trailer out. I love Bloodborne, but
yeah, it seems like up
if
your alley.
if this, I'm not a huge fan of Pinocchio per se, but maybe this works. I mean, I the thing that I'm struggling with every time I think about Pinocchio, I think about that Disney movie, and I'm like, what kind of weapons are we talking about?
I mean, his nose, obviously. I mean, what the fuck?
Like,
He just starts lying, sharpens his fucking nose up, bam.
yeah, I mean, he was a carpenter, I guess.
I would do the face motion, but it looked like it was sucking dick, so I'm not going to do that.
Oh,
the back and forth face motion, I can't do it because it's, I'm not going to do it.
So the scenes that I saw, he had dual swords, and he was fighting like this big ass like grotesque kind of like one of the Resident Evil type.
Didn't he have like a mechanical arm too? And he was carrying around like gigantic fucking weapons, right?
Yeah, he had two big ass swords. He had like dual blades. They're huge. They're bigger than him, but he was still fucking people up with them.
I'm gonna check that out. What was it called again?
It's called Lives of P, and this will be a Game Pass Day 1 release.
Ooh, look at that! All right.
Oh, it looks pretty fucked up. I'm not a Souls fan, but it looks like you get that kind of masochistic stuff that y'all be into.
I gotta say, I'm not a Souls fan either, but I gotta say, Elden Ring is probably the most playable of all of them. Like, it's not soul fucking crushing. You know what I mean? It's difficult, but it's not like I'm gonna throw something at my $1,000 TV.
Where are you on it? Like,
I'm super.
It's kind of a long game.
Yeah, no. I'm super early. I barely even played it, but it's still even from the beginning. I was just like, oh, this is like way more doable than like Bloodborne. You know what I mean? So I didn't feel like Bloodborne is like every single encounter was like I might fucking die immediately, but in this one I was like I got a chance. I got a chance.
Yeah.
And then I see things in the background. I was like, I have no chance with that or that or that. I'm just gonna fucking avoid them.
Yep.
So,
yeah. I felt the same way with Fallen Order. Like Fallen Order, I felt like the encounters were okay, but there were ones where I was just getting punished. There's always that one out of the group that just like would just punish the shit out of you. I'm like, God dang. So
yeah, I'll check that one out. And you had one last one?
Two more. Gotham Knights, which I've been waiting for. It comes out in October. They released a Villains trailer.
Hold on, it's gonna come out 4 days earlier than expected. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah,
October 21st.
Yeah.
What are they trying to avoid? It sounds like they're avoiding some other release window.
I don't know. Metal Gear Solid 6.
No, it's probably Modern Warfare. I think that's out that same week, like 5 days later. So, I mean, I would say that's a good strategy, avoiding that Modern Warfare onslaught. Another weird one, they're doing a Killer Clowns from Outer Space game.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Sure, I guess. I mean, the movie came out in '88, and then they did a game for Nintendo. But there's a reveal trailer. I don't know what this is about. I didn't see gameplay. It just looks like they're just showing scenes in the movies. So
not that I play this game, but I know it's fucking huge and big on Twitch and all that. But if you have a horror franchise of any fucking sort, you should put that character or the main character, villain, whatever, in Dead by Daylight.
Oh yeah, that's true. So there's a bunch of other games. I guess the only last one that I kind of, or most people probably give a shit about is the Sonic Frontiers, because everyone's been talking about this for a minute. This will be released on everybody. I guess this is a Sonic RPG, maybe?
What the fuck?
It's an open world game.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Elements, but it looks.
Yeah.
It's looking better. But Sonic games usually as an open world game, they don't work usually that well. And people were complaining that played the game, they were like, "Oh, it's too empty." But I'm like, okay, so first of all, if you have a fucking character that can run like, 500 fucking miles per hour, the game by design should probably be mostly empty, because if you're running that fucking fast then you would just blow past everything like instantly. So yeah, things should be spaced out enough, and I think that people just need to get used to being able to move that fast. And I think this is we'll talk about it in a second for some other games, but I think people need to adjust. If you're that mobile in a game, you can't have a cramped game.
Yeah. The other thing that's interesting about Sonic, I remember obviously from old school Sega Genesis days, and then I watched my kids play a lot of the more modern ones. It's fast. He's fast as fuck, but it's in spurts and at appropriate kind of times. There's times when it's slow as shit too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not all just racing and speed. That'd be a fucking quick game. You know what I mean? So there's every level in every area has a huge chunk where it's nowhere near as fast. Or if you do go that fast, you're gonna get penalized by stepping on some spikes or whatever the fuck. You're gonna lose all your fucking rings and shit. So you have to be fast but under control.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna give a couple of more games. Sorry, there was a lot of games that got already announced, but some games that probably didn't get a lot of attention that I've seen anyway. One of the games is called Where Winds Meet, and it basically looks like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Ghost of Tsushima had a fucking baby.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's based in the like a Chinese dynasty. I forget which one because I'm not up on my Chinese history. Sorry, I'm an American. But it looked really cool. You could like walk on water and shit like you fucking Jesus and walk on wind reeds and shit like that and do amazing martial arts and shit like that and defeat giant enemies. It looks interesting for right now. I'm surprised that like that Black Wukong wasn't there because that game looks really cool too, and it's been having like a lot of like gameplay reveals as of late. And another one that seemed really cool. I gotta look. Shit, I forgot the name of it now. It was not.
Was it Atlas Fallen?
No, I was thinking like everything else,
Moonbreaker,
which got announced, but that game didn't. That game was like seemed to be too much. Right now, there wasn't enough detail.
There's Homeworld 3, Moonbreaker.
Moonbreaker was the Brandon Sanderson thing, which I'll probably play even though I'm not a figurine gameplay guy, but I am a Brandon Sanderson fan, so I might play it just for that aspect. It's based in like one of his universes.
Okay.
And I can't remember the fucking last thing. But yeah.
Was it the Lords of the Fallen? Stranded?
No.
Alien Dawn, Under the Waves.
Was there any new Forsaken with that one?
Yes, that's what it was.
Sci-fi girl?
Forsaken.
Okay.
So there was more Forsaken gameplay that they showed. In the game, to me, it looks the graphics look fucking amazing. I don't know how it's gonna play out because it seems like this chick has like so many goddamn powers that she's just gonna fuck everything up. Like it just and all the powers look really unique and really like well like thought out. But I'm kind of worried that it might be a little bit too much, and that's like hard for me to say because like how could you have too much in a video game?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like she has like a lot of fucking powers in this game, and I don't know. It might get just like kind of messy with like the gameplay. Maybe that's why they keep like pushing it back because they're trying to figure out how to make this game with like all these crazy ass powers like playable.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only worry for that game. But hopefully they figure it out, and it's gonna be because it looks amazing, especially technically, it looks amazing. But I've also seen games.
I was gonna say, we both play Control. Control had a lot of powers.
Yeah, it wasn't as amazing as this one. Like this one, she's fucking hitting people with like spikes from the earth. She's surrounding them with fucking water. She's basically a goddamn Avatar and shit in this goddamn game, and just fucking everything up. And I don't know how it's gonna play out in the game, but I'm willing to wait and see.
Late game Devil May Cry is kind of similar, just in terms of really ridiculous amount of OP power and fucking special moves and shit.
Yeah,
but Forsaken looks interesting.
Yeah,
it's a new IP, right?
Yeah,
like there's never been one of these before, right?
Yeah, and it's basically it's one of the first true Unreal Engine 5 games.
Nice.
So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It seems like they keep pushing it back, which I'm totally fine with. Get it right, get the timing right. I want to see what the fuck they do. And here's the other thing. Selfishly, they don't have a whole lot of games with a black female lead.
Yeah.
And so I want them to, of the few that they do have, especially on the AAA genre or whatever, or AAA kind of status, I want them to do it right. Like, don't fucking cheap sell this or short sell it, whatever. Do it right. Make sure it's good. Pick the right window. No bugs. Make sure it's good. Great, even, and then hopefully it can become a nice winning fucking franchise. So we'll see.
I agree.
Was there any others?
For right now, no. I mean, there's probably some that got announced today, but I didn't watch too much today.
Oh, here's what I wanted to ask you guys. What was your boy Kojima? And I love Kojima too, but I heard he was doing some weird, wild Kojima like shit over there.
Yeah. So basically, he announced he's gonna have a podcast. That's going to be in both English and Japanese, which I'm like, cool. I'm going to get it. It's going to be on Spotify. He's going the Joe Rogan status, exclusivity on Spotify.
Okay.
Which is cool because I mean the guy, he's weird as fuck, but he also makes dope ass games.
Yep.
I love the way that his mind works, and I would love to hear more about like what influences him as a game developer and like maker, which is cool. But he also said something that I think most people probably didn't pick up on. When he first started talking, he said that he's working on games, plural. So I'm very interested to see like what games that he's working on. Probably like a new Death Stranding, but probably something that I think he's gonna do something like in space. To be honest with you, because like his new logo is like a Space Knight thing.
Yeah.
And nothing I've seen from him has been in space yet. So I love to see like Kojima's vision of like space, like warfare or whatever the fuck he wants to do. Like it's gonna be cool.
So I know he's working on an Xbox game, like an exclusive Xbox game, but
it's
he's
an
also
Xbox.
oh god dang, how dare
So
you. But he's
that was in the rumor mill for a long time. So it was confirmed.
Oh, he confirmed it a while ago, but there's a name for it. I guess it's out there. But he's also working on an exclusive Sony game, so that one could be. People were saying it could be Death Stranding 2, but he hasn't said a whole lot. So
let me just say this though, with Kojima Productions, after all the shit that Konami put that man through, I could see him not wanting to sign like for his studio to be exclusive with either one of the big consoles or anything. Like, yes, he'll do a game here and there, maybe for both. It sounds like, but he could be very leery, and that's justified in my opinion, based on all the bullshit Konami put that man through.
I totally agree. And honestly, if he released a game on the Xbox, I would just immediately buy an Xbox Series X. So
yeah, why not? Why fucking not? Now, the only other thing with Kojima that I don't quite get, I've seen him in multiple interviews and all of that. I know he kind of knows English, but I almost never hear him speak English. So is someone translating for him on these?
Hold on, Prodigy. I thought the same thing. Honestly, I think that thought process is fucking racist as shit. I think that people in America that demand that every single goddamn person on the planet speak English, it's fucking bullshit.
No, I'm not saying he has to. I'm just saying in terms of he has an English podcast, is what I heard. Will that be translated by someone else?
Yeah, I think it's translated, which is fine with me. Like, I thought, because honestly, I was like, why doesn't this dude speak English yet? But also, I don't fucking speak Japanese. You know what I mean? So like, he should not be forced to speak like my native language because it's easier on me. A mono, linguistic dude. So.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing too. He's very close with several people in Hollywood, like Mads Mikkelsen and Norman Reedus.
That's the thing too. But at the same time,
listen, I'm not saying that he has to speak English. I'm just saying he's close with a lot of people that I think don't speak Japanese. So one way or another, he makes it fucking work.
No,
right?
What I will say, what I was going to say, is that I'm pretty sure he at least understands English because when you hear him talk, he talks about like his influences with like media, and he goes back to like Western movies, like a lot in Western movies. And I highly doubt, especially like when he first made Metal Gear. This is back in like the late '80s.
Mm-hmm.
When there wasn't too many goddamn English, Japanese dubbed American movies in Japan.
Correct.
but he definitely watched those, and you could tell the influencers they're there in all of his games, and he even admits them to that. American movies influence like his whole, and he wants to he actually wants to direct American movies, which I think he would do fantastic at. Honestly, I want to see him direct an actual movie.
Yeah, me too. Or TV series or anime, whatever the fuck he wants to do. He's weird enough, but also good enough for me to like fucking pay attention. I still need to finish Death Stranding, but that game is out there. That is an out there game.
It is out there.
Yeah, it's. Did you get past like at least the first? I think it's like the first 2 or 3 acts.
Yeah.
Like it kind of opens up more. It gets better when it opens up more. That the first, I think it's the first 2 acts are just get through it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
it opens
the first.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird because the first 2 are literally like tutorials, but it's so fucking long. I'm like, what the fuck? Chapter 3 is actually the real game. I was like, what the fuck? I just spent hours on chapter 1 and 2. Like, what the fuck's happening?
What really trips me out, and I'm still within the first like 12 to 15 hours or so, but that fucking baby crying through that controller is weird.
Oh yeah, you BB? Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, let me run away from this, this black goo shit, or I'm in the wrong area. Oh shit, my baby's stressed. My baby's fucking crying. My baby might go into shock. Oh,
it's like, this is Tamagotchi, goddamn, what the fuck?
And then he has to fucking soothe the baby and shit. Like, that's a wild ass game.
Yeah, it was piss, shit, and blood grenades. That's wild. I was like, what the hell?
And then the thing that gets me is Norman Reedus will look dead fucking ass at the goddamn camera and be like, I'm Norman Reedus. I'm drinking this fucking Mountain Dew or whatever the fuck. And I'm like,
yeah, he's drinking his energy drink and whatnot. Yeah. What was weird.
I'm Norman Reedus.
Yeah, what's weird to me is the way that I can't say it's not multiplayer. It's like community building. Like you'll be in an area that was like all desert or just like grasslands, and because other people were in the area, that when you come out, there's like a fucking highway and there's fucking like little not shops, but the little places where you can store and grab. The people will leave stuff in there for you to pick up. So you can pick that shit up. But it wasn't there like a good 2 minutes when I was in this little hub. I was like, what the hell? Yeah. So weird.
And real quick, too, a big fuck you to Konami. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 1 and Snake Eater and Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of Patriots, and all of those classic Metal Gear games, a lot of them being stranded on old consoles. It's like, what the fuck, man? It'd be so nice to start seeing like a collection remastered or whatever for the modern generation.
So if you have the highest tier of the PlayStation Plus, you can actually get super old games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using air quotes that you can't see if you're listening to this. Anyway, you can get to like the PS3 and I think some maybe PS2 era games.
Yep.
On your PS5, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's like it's really but what's weird though, it's like do we really I'm arguing with myself. Do we really need it?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like,
move forward?
But I mean, we can. But I think that like people, like younger people today, I think when we talk about older game emulation, we're being very selfish about it, right? Because we want to relive shit that we played back in the day, which I totally get that. But it'd be like our parents trying to convince us to watch like some super old fucking TV show that's in black and white.
Like Waltons or some shit.
Yeah, it's like, that's not really like so. Like the sales wouldn't be there. Like one of my favorite games of all time was Final Fantasy VI, which is 3 in America. Game is fucking amazing, but I'm not gonna convince somebody that's like below the age of fucking 36 to play that fucking game. Because of the graphics alone. I'm just like, I get it. Like I've lived through all this, and yes, graphics are much better now. I don't like having like all these remakes. I honestly, for this game, I wish they would remake it because it's the best Final Fantasy, and everybody thinks that it's 7. It's fucking not. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to like justify financially for these game developers remaking a game that's like 20 fucking plus years ago. Like, who the fuck is gonna play it besides old fucks like us?
Well, but Resident Evil 2 and Final Fantasy VII did really well. you know, and
but those are
a lot of new gamers, you know, a lot of younger gamers said, "Oh, this is fucking cool." They bought it, they played it, they liked it. Sometimes that was their introduction to a long ass franchise from, you know, that's been going on since '80s or '90s.
for remakes, yes, but we're also those are remakes for games that are, you know, the PlayStation era. So these are all the CGI era. You know what I mean? This is not when we talk about like pre PlayStation, like I don't know if people have this. You'd have to do like a significant remake for those games, and they'd basically be like unrecognizable. And to a point, I mean, to your point, really, you know, the Final Fantasy VII remake is really unrecognizable from. Like, if you go back and watch like the original, you know, Final Fantasy VII, it's like super pixelated. Like,
Exactly.
they don't even have fucking fingers. All right,
Yep.
so yeah, but what
Yeah, I
they,
mean, it was a
what they did
top-down
what they
remake.
did have though is actual full motion video, and
Mhm.
before the PlayStation there was no full motion video in anything because everything was cartridge based and there was very small storage. So yeah, I think that's like the main thing when you go back in time.
Yeah, and I'll also say this too. I miss one supposedly, and I think Old Ninja will probably confirm this. One of the best Resident Evil games, which is Resident Evil 4. I knew they were finally going to come out with a remake, you know, full top to bottom remake of it. That's dropping early next year. Finally, that'll be my first time fucking playing it. I'm gonna
I think
buy
it's
that on site.
spring or early summer of next year.
Hmm
So,
I think that's
you
gonna be
know
a
what?
big seller.
I own 2 versions of the game and I still haven't played it.
Which game? Sorry, I was reading something at the time.
Resident Evil 4.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm still not a fan. Even though I should be because my main gripe, which I've said fucking probably 50, 11 times on this podcast, is that the first Resident Evil games, you couldn't walk or run and shoot, which I'm like, I can do this in real life, so why the fuck am I going to play a game where I can't do something I can do in real life and not do in the game? But they fixed that, I understand that, but I'm also not a fan of like horror games in general, so or movies for that matter.
Not for everybody, but these were some really good ones. And then the other thing I'll say, and it's very controversial, but you know, Naughty Dog is what, a few weeks away from re-releasing.
See, you're calling me a
Last
liar
of
now.
Us.
He's all shit. I forgot about this one.
No, I
Yeah.
mean it's true though. No,
They're doing it
I mean,
for
you know what, but honestly, obviously, I just said I don't like playing horror games or watching horror movies, but I did really enjoy The Last of Us.
Mhm.
But it's also a really good story. I think that's like one of the main things about like a lot of like the horror games and movies. They're just fucking terribly told. It's such bullshit. But The Last of Us is like it's really well done story. So
Yep.
Yeah, Alan Wake is another one because it's literally a Stephen King book, and this guy's a fan of Stephen King, so it becomes like this weird like meta story. But it's a really good fucking game. Had a really good story. Same thing with Control. I mean, Control's
Control's
kind of a
good.
horror.
That shit was
game,
trippy.
but it was so good.
yeah.
It was so good. That was another game that nobody played, and all the critics kept talking about it. It was getting 8s and 9s across the board. I think a couple people gave it a 10.
Mhm.
And it was so good. It's a good ass fucking game.
It's weird.
It
It
is.
feels like an X-Files episode that got left in the can or something. At least the first few episodes.
It does feel like it feels like you're at the FBI and like you're looking for Mulder and Scully like the half the time, and then you realize that you can get powers, so then it becomes something else. So
Oh, fucking yeah. All right, Kronos, I know you playing this Saints Row.
I was gonna talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
here we go.
What do you got to say on it?
All right, so I know, so one of the things back in the day, me and let's see, hold on, let me just pull this up real quick. This is like one of the first games that I think that me and Prodigy really did like co-op on was probably Saints
Probably.
Row, Saints
Yeah.
Row the Third,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing. Let me just rewind the tape for all y'all. First time me and Prodigy play a co-op game together. I'm playing as a normal dude. He gets we join up in a co-op together, and he's this fucking She-Hulk with titties bared out, gigantic anime titties, running around blowing shit up. I was like, okay. And I'm like, okay,
With pasties.
with pasties. Sorry, yeah, with pasties. Sorry, gotta keep it PC, right? Anyway, I was just like, this is who you are. He's like, yep, this is how I play in the game. I'm like, all right, let's just fucking keep rolling. So Yeah, it was. Saints Row the Third was like one of the greatest games. I don't think that game gets enough accolades because to me at the time, I think people don't understand that it really took down GTA. It out GTA at the time. All right, and it was just an amazing game, especially given like what happens later on. I can just give it away because you basically become a fucking superhero in the goddamn game.
Exactly.
I mean, if you want to play it long enough, you could you're basically invincible, and you could just you can punch somebody into mincemeat and have unlimited ammo and shit like that. So Saints Row has a very special place in my heart because of Prodigy's anime titties with pasties being green. So Saints Row, the new one, they decided because Saints Row 4 came out, and they had a couple other Saints Row games that were basically the same fucking map, and they just kind of reskinned shit and they did it. It was still fun to me because don't get me wrong. I mean, Saints Row it's a ridiculous fucking game on its premise. It's basically like you're basically playing like an '80s action movie the whole fucking time. It's ridiculous, but I love it. So the latest, Saints Row came out yesterday or the day before or some shit. I got it, I think yesterday. And before I even got it, it was getting like really low critics reviews. And I was like, okay, I'm still getting it. Like I still bought like the whatever fucking edition. I don't know if I can find it. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. I still got the what is it? The Notorious edition. So this is it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I gave him extra money.
All right.
For my shit. And he has a bunch of other extra shit in here, which I totally forgot that there's probably some promo codes in here that I should put in to the game for like free shit. I forgot. Yeah, I think when I was watching the reviews, they were basically complaining that it's like the old Saints Row. I'm like, but for me, I'm like, I don't really care. Like the old Saints Row, I'll give some leeway because I just like doing silly shit in games sometimes. Like sure. I like sticking a grenade down somebody's pants and throwing them in the crowd and like blowing them up. It's not going to get old for me likely anytime soon. So I'm going to enjoy it. So I still bought the game I actually bought the game after the critics reviews came out.
Ooh.
That's how much I didn't give a fuck about the critics reviews.
Damn, all right.
Like, and I bought like, the Notorious edition. So I didn't give a fuck. So I'm playing the game. And so I'm going to keep it 100% honest with you. Okay. I updated the game. I started playing, and I got to the character creator. It's called like the boss creator, and literally, first bug I hit was in the character creator. Like I got to a point where I couldn't back out of the menu. I couldn't exit out of the game. I could exit out of the game. I couldn't go back or forward in the character creator. I was like, bruh, like this is like literally 5 minutes into the fucking game. And I'm already hit with a fucking bug that's game breaking. So I'm like, all right. So I give it a little bit. I crashed the game, brought it back up. Then it worked, And the character creator, honestly, this is one of the best character creators that have been fucking creative from all fucking time. Like they got something for everybody. Like if you want to be whatever you want to be, if you want to be a fucking dude with a dick and some tits, you want to be a Fuda, you could be that. You want to have, you want to be an amputee, you can be that. You want to be missing all your limbs and not just fucking what you could be that. You want to have fucking scars and shit, you could be that.
Nice.
You want to have crazy eyes, fucking shark teeth, broken teeth, fucking no teeth, whatever the fuck teeth you want. It's all there. So the character creator is like one of the most comprehensive that I've ever. It's one of the most comprehensive and inclusive that I've ever fucking seen. They even have fucking alopecia settings, and it's multiple alopecia fucking levels that you can have in this fucking game. So
do they have Uncle Ruckus's Revitiligo?
I think so. Yes. I mean, awesome. Like it's really amazing, like the amount of shit that you can do in this game. So when people talk about like they get mad about, because I've even seen some of the reviews. Like finally, I like what Metacritic did, but like holding back the reviews for users now. They wait until the day after until noon before you can release your review.
Agreed.
And I think
that's good.
That's way better than having a review before the game even came out that you haven't played, or a minute after it came out, and then you release some shit review or whatever review. Because people were still saying, oh, Saints Row went woke. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, literally, I can walk down the street and punch a chick in the face. Like, how is that woke? I can fucking shoot anybody I want. Just because I can customize my character to be like however the fuck I want it to be or someone else wants it to be, doesn't make it woke. It just makes it more sort of accessible to other people. Like, I'm still gonna make a character like the way that I want my character. All right? Like, my character is not a fucking amputee or, missing a limb or whatever. Like, my character looks, generally speaking, like me, except he's got canine teeth and fucking crazy eyes. But other than that, he looks like me. I think it's really cool to, like, have, a character from somebody that might be, might not have all their limbs or might have, vitiligo, alopecia, or whatever, to have that in the game, because you can make somebody look like you. And I think that most people take it for granted that most character creators, if you look generic, then you're okay. You know what I mean? So, but other people, like, I think it's cool, like, bring them in. Anyway, beyond that, it's basically, it's mainly like Saints Row, the third, sort of in between, like, third and the second game.
Okay.
It's still ridiculous. Like, what's cool is that you get, like, your own, like, little crew in the beginning. You're basically, like, they really modernized it because you're somebody that's trying to make ends meet, and having roommates, and you're all, like, all your roommates are in, like, different gangs, and they're all just, like, doing, like, illegal shit to, like, make ends meet, and then you're the one person that's working for, like, an actual corporation, like, legit, to make ends meet, but then you also do, like, dirt on the side to, like, make ends meet, because sometimes you gotta pay rent, right?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, and then eventually, I'm pretty sure eventually in the game, you all come together and, like, form actual Saints Row to, like, get your shit going.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, it's the gunplay feels much better than the old games. The driving feels a little better than the old games, which is good. Even your vehicles are customizable a lot. One thing I heard that which I'm not gonna like is the level cap is like 20. And I'm like, that seems relatively low because I'm already on, like, level 3. So I'm like, that's really low. I'm, like, in the very beginning of the game. So I don't want to level cap early in the game. But so far, I mean, the game seems okay to me for a Saints Row game. Like, for me, it's not, I'll probably, like, at this point in time, I'll probably give it, like, a 7. It's not the greatest game, but it's not the worst game either. It's giving me exactly what the fuck I wanted from a Saints Row game. It's giving me a little bit more, actually.
That's good.
Yeah, so
That's good.
play the game before, the critics' reviews are out there, but it's also, like, let's be honest, like, most critics' reviews are older dudes. And most older...
Fair.
As we get older, most of us, we try to think that we have higher... We think that we're, like, a little fancier than we actually really are. But when I'm playing, like, a Saints Row game, like, I literally want to devolve a little bit, and enjoy the fucking game. And I think that most people, they're like, oh, I want it to be something sophisticated, like, like the latest, GTA, like GTA 5. GTA 5 is, like, so cool. You get to go to all these characters, and it was so well written, and look at the online thing. But it's like, okay, but this isn't fucking GTA, all right? It's not GTA. So don't come in with GTA expectations for this game. Like, it's not that. It's silly fucking bullshit, and it's fun. To me, it's still fun.
All good. I mean, you're someone who's played it. I'm not going to shit on the game that I have not played yet, but I loved the franchise quite a bit, and it's always been a fucking fun franchise. I was disappointed, though. I mean, because I know, like everybody else in the world, that negative reviews usually have an impact on sales.
Yeah,
they just do.
Is. Yeah.
So negative reviews can get you in the quote-unquote bargain basement, or bargain bag pretty quickly.
Bargain bin.
Yeah, bargain bin pretty fucking quickly, or, you could end up on, Game Pass or PS Plus very quickly, which could be good or bad, depending on how much money you get on the back end. I hope that, they can remove some of the buzz and get some more buzz and be on Twitch, and and things can improve, but it's a real fucking kick in the dick when I see not even just middle of the road, low fucking scores from critics, and then some users are starting to post now as well. Which again, I don't want that for the fucking franchise, but I know that's gonna fucking hurt them. You know what I mean? Like I can't shy away from the fact that this franchise was trying to have a resurgence and get back to greatness and prominence and all of that. And if the reviews had gone the other way, if this was like an 8 or a 9 or something, which Saints Row the Third was getting 8s and 9s and shit. If that was back to this, yeah, I mean, if it was back to the level of, from a just purely review standpoint, of Saints Row the Third, motherfucker, I would be screaming from the rooftop, Saints Row is goddamn back. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, obviously you have to play it, but also, there are some bugs in there. Obviously, I hit one that was basically game breaking. I was watching X-Play today, and some of their reviewers, they all hit the same bug, and it has to do with like a perk that doesn't work at all. And I'd be pretty pissed if I hit that bug, because like the bug that we're talking about was like, it has to do with a weapon perk, and it just didn't work. And I was just like, wow, like I think they need to really patch the game. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why it's getting a lower review. And I have no excuses for that. Like if your game is buggy, then yeah, you're gonna get a lower review. But as far as like I said, I only hit like one main shitty bug, but nothing has broken like me playing through like the main game yet. So
I'll say this: if we rewind the tape just a little bit, I was a huge fan of Dying Light. Dying Light 1, I played like fucking years and shit. I was hyped as fuck for Dying Light 2. That game was buggy as shit. I still haven't finished it. I was so fucking hyped about it. And I mean, those scores were 7, sometimes even low 6s or whatever. And at first I was like, maybe it's not as bad. I kept playing through that, man. They had some game-stopping bugs, right? It would put me in a loop where I couldn't literally complete certain missions, or I'd complete it and they'd make me go back and do it again. So, you got to come with your fucking A game. These games are fucking expensive. You know what I mean? Like, and they've always been expensive, but it's an expensive hobby and people want to get their money's worth. And when things aren't working, just like with Cyberpunk, what was that, 2020 or whatever?
This wasn't as bad as Cyberpunk. I'll tell you that 100%. Not as bad as Cyberpunk.
Yeah, but I mean, if shit don't work, that's all bad. And your reputation is on the line. And I believe you when you say it's not as bad as Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk was the very first time I had ever seen in my adult life a game be removed at pretty much launch from PlayStation Store. Like, they took that shit off of there with a quickness, and it didn't come back for almost a fucking year or more than a year. I had never seen that ever in my fucking life.
Yeah, y'all heard me talk about it. Like, I was so fucking hyped for this game. I was just like, this shit is fucking broken. I was like, bro, like, I don't understand what the fuck is going on. Shit, like, basic shit is not working. It's all fucking buggy. And, like, it didn't work on the my PS4 Pro. And then when I got my PS5, it was, like, just as broken. I was like, dude, like, what the fuck? Go on, let me rewind real quick. One of the cool things about there's been like a major improvement with Saints Row that I think not enough people are like giving it credit for like a gameplay thing, is that they kind of took like some elements of Doom into the game, where you basically they encourage you to just like cause mayhem and just fuck everything up. You have a button that you can press to just like instantly kill somebody, and it gives you life back. And it's just like, and you kill them in very creative ways. So it could be like, dick or pussy stomping and then shooting them in the face, or stabbing them multiple times, or just doing really fucked up shit to them. And sometimes you need to do that because you're low on health and there's really no traditional cover system in the game. So if you're aggressive and you up your like, it's like I forget what they call it, but it's like a stack of something. But you can just go through and just keep, doing insta kills and getting life back. So, yeah.
Fucking Doom guy. It all goes back to Doom all the time.
Yeah, Doom's dope. That's a damn game.
Yeah.
Damn, that should have been my intro, because they did the the Walmart thing, mixed it with the Doom Guy soundtrack. Maybe I'll do it next week.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we going? We've been
Y'all want
very
to get
game
into
heavy.
these? Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all want to get into these dragons?
Oh fuck
Oh.
yes!
Oh, did you watch it, Prodigy? You watched it last night,
I
right?
watched it. I think.
Oh, thank goodness we all
Okay.
watched it. All right, because I was like, bro, I
Okay.
want to talk about it.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, you
I
go
watched
ahead.
it Sunday.
I paused my fucking Destiny game to just to
You
watch
didn't
it.
pause. You left. You left
sure
like
did.
as soon as we finished.
I was like, let me watch this
I'm
stuff.
like, where the fuck is you going? So I got to watch these dragons. Like,
Oh, Ninja, you please, lead us in.
so House of the Dragons, which is on HBO Max right now.
Yeah,
Is HBO Go even around anymore?
that's
That shit-
for your phone, but yeah, it should be.
Okay. Yeah. So it was like it's basically set 170 some odd years before Daenerys is born and before the events of Game of Thrones. So we see basically the House of Targaryen, they're rulers of Westeros. There's a bunch of Targaryens. There's like 11 of them. And apparently everyone that's like either married into the family or I guess cousins or whatnot, they all have blonde hair. Even the black dude has blonde hair.
He's got gray hair, but
That's just blonde. That's just dyed like fucking with juices and berries or some shit.
It comes across as like basically having
it's
almost
like
white.
platinum. Yeah, it's like platinum.
Yeah. Porno blonde. Anyway. So I mean we are introduced to a bunch of new characters, right? We get to see a bunch of new characters, but we're mainly with House Targaryen for the majority of the episode. We see that the king, he has a daughter, but he's trying to have a male heir to succeed him in the throne, but he doesn't have an heir. There's been a lot of, I guess, issues having a second child, but he has his oldest child who looks like she's 14, maybe. I don't know.
Somewhere in there.
Oh, a little,
Yeah,
maybe
she
probably a
looks
little
like a
older because she definitely has a consort of sorts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sure, but maybe
Somewhere in
not.
the she looks like a teenager. Let's just say
She
that.
does.
Yeah.
She does look like a teenager, and she probably has like, either her BFF that she also scissors. Maybe, maybe not. Not
Well,
quite sure.
now that's creepy. She's a teenager, so
Yeah, but I mean, we don't see it in the show. But her and her BFF are very close.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Possibly intimate.
they're
but,
vagina close, is what he means. Like, I mean, you said scissoring, so you know.
I did. So we're seeing we see like quick like references to like House Baratheon, and there's a Stark. We get a Stark like towards the end of the show. No House Lannister yet that I saw. What are some other? I think there's a couple of. Oh, we get some people from Dorne. We see a Dorne knight.
That's true.
So yeah, so the king is trying to have an heir, and they're basically having a medieval gender reveal party kind of or medieval birthing party. So they have like a tournament, jousting tournament. So,
Well, the tournament was not for the kid. It just happened to be when the kid was going to be born.
Oh, I was missing because I wasn't quite clear. I thought it was kind of a dual thing, like one for the brother, which I was about to talk about, and the other was for the queen possibly giving birth soon or whatnot.
No.
I guess that
because I recently watched it because they mentioned that should we push this back, and he said no because I have a feeling that our child's going to be born during this, so let's do it. So it'll be more of a celebration.
Okay.
Better words than what I just said. So yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, I mean the dialogue is more High Valyrian. So we see there are a bunch of dragons. Even the daughter of the king. Her name. What's her name?
Rhaenyra?
No.
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. There you go. Yeah, Rhaenyra. She has like a young dragon. So her dragon's like also roughly like a teenage dragon. Which when she's riding. The dragon keepers are saying, she's still growing, for young. They even mentioned young dragon. her uncle has like this huge, older, like kind of elder dragon. It's kind of like like it looks kind of like Daenerys's biggest dragon. I think he's Visceron or no Drogon. Drogon's her biggest dragon, but he's like that big, maybe even bigger. You can tell it's an aged dragon. But the uncle is like he's keeper of the watch, which is strange because most of us, if you remember Game of Thrones, the watch was usually on the wall, which is this big winter like
But,
I don't know skyscraping. Go
but
ahead,
isn't this
Brent.
the Westeros
This is Westeros.
watch? Yeah, but
Yeah,
their watch,
it's
they're
like
like capital
it's like
watch.
it's like they're basically constables, and
Mm.
no one I guess respected him or whatnot. So he is commander of the watch, and he revamps them to be like these enforcers of the city. So it's kind of messed up because I saw the parallels in this. This is what major cities do when like they get the
You
Olympics
got to crack
and they
down.
try to yeah. So it's like, oh, you push out the homeless, you push out, the poor, and you make a statement like, you guys are not wanted here. You need to be. We have dignitaries coming. You guys need to clear the streets. But they took it to using the cover of the law to be like, hey, because there's no courts. There's just like pointing out people. This person's a murderer. This person's a rapist. They're like, oh, this person did this. What they did, whatever crime they did with whatever appendage, they just cut off right in front of everybody. Like if you're a thief, you cut out your hand gets cut off. You're a rapist, your dick gets cut off. Right on the camera too. They just show some dude's dick getting fucking lopped off right on the fucking wood on a tree. People got their legs cut off. By the end of the scene, there's literally a fucking wagon with just body parts. And like one of the parts that comes out that's kind of prominent is this guy who is presumed to be a murderer. His head's been cut off. His head's right on top. And all these bits and pieces that are hauled away. And so this starts a strife within the royal court. They're like, hey, we appreciate you trying to, enforce the law, but the way you did it was kind of fucked up. And the brother's just like, whatever. You guys let this shit go lawless. They need to fear the law. They're gonna fear our red capes or cloaks. Or no, I'm sorry, golden.
Gold, goddamn.
They're gonna
All
feel
right.
the gold.
Let me spit out my fucking
cloaks. Yeah, yeah.
Like, bruh.
They're gonna feel the gold. They're gonna feel the golden. It's like a cloak, not really a cape.
It's a
because
the gold cloaks. All right, listen.
it only covers one shoulder.
The chick that hates blue is probably listening right now, and she's fucking writing down our names because of you. Goddamn it, you need to stop it. All right,
yeah,
get this shit right. I'm not trying to die. You're way closer than we are to her.
Yeah, make
probably.
sure. Yeah, that's
So-
true. Make sure there's no. Well, yeah, I don't know. She
Yeah,
could have been from
finds it.
Central Valley.
Maybe
she
she
might. Yeah, she could have moved. I'm just making sure no chairs are coming.
Yeah, you know what we need to do? We need to go back and get a picture of that wonderful woman because
Yeah.
we need to block out her eyes or something. But we need to hold up a sign like, you fuck it up.
Yeah. for real.
Actually, yeah. So I mean, we have it on video, so it's probably on YouTube on our channel somewhere. But anyway, so yeah, there we get this thing. The king, his wife goes into labor. The kid is breached. They don't know how to fix the kid. They can't pull the kid around. So they did this medieval C-section, and just no
Yeah.
anesthetic or whatnot.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Brendan.
that's.
So hold on. This was the most brutal thing I've ever seen in any Game of Thrones type of world, and one of the most brutal in just TV history. And I know at the Red Wedding they fucking stabbed and killed a pregnant woman. I know that, but this was like, you see her. She tells her husband, "Hey, I'm done with fucking having more kids because 2 or 3 of them have died and." Stillborn, and they just didn't make it for very long. I'm done with this shit. This is the last one, motherfucker. This is it. And she's like 9 months pregnant, telling him this. Then she's having trouble. You see blood on the fucking birthing bed, whatever. And all of her attendants are there, and basically they ask the husband, the king, do you have to make a decision. It's either going to be the mom or the baby at this point.
No. It's either the mom or lose both.
Well,
Or
okay,
kid,
fine. Or
You
lose
save
both.
the kid or you lose both.
Okay, fair.
No, nope. I think what part you said was correct. 'Cause I just watched it. It was one or the other.
Whichever one. You have to make one of two decisions because someone finna die, and we know it's probably gonna be the mom. She is like off of the poppy and a little like unconscious but barely conscious, and she slowly starts to come out of it, and she sees her loving husband and blah blah blah, and she looks all confused because they fucking start tying her down, and she's panicked like, what the fuck is going on? What are you doing? What's happening? He's like, don't worry, my love, blah blah blah. Basically, she knows she's finna die it right then and there on that bed. And that shit was so fucking hard to watch for me. Obviously, she ends up fucking dying, and they do get the baby out, but it was bloody. You see the terror in her fucking eyes, and then it just kind of reminded me though of the fact that, hey, throughout most of human history, childbirth is fucking risky.
Oh
Even
yes,
childbirth,
even today.
and that was a very visceral reminder of just how fucking risky it was.
Yeah, and what's fucked up is that they cut from the top. They didn't cut from like the lower abdomen. They cut from the top of her stomach, ripping her open.
Well, because I mean, they wouldn't have known, like, because
Yeah,
they were fucking morons.
I know. Well, they didn't have the tech that we have, but still, they were like, "Well, we're gonna kill this bitch anyway. We're gonna save the kid."
But
So it's like, holy shit.
Maybe.
but also no. Anyway, yeah,
I was about to get to that, but okay.
This was like, what's crazy is like, so obviously they wrote all this shit like last year. So this has obviously been, all the acting has been done last year, more than likely, because that added
or
CGI
or
for
even
like
further
dragons.
back.
Yeah, because that added CGI for like dragons and shit. And the fact that this particular story hits home today for like Americans, with like women losing, their. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna say I'm sorry because people are gonna be very contrarian if you're on the right or if you believe or if you're like a pro-life person. You got to be contrarian and say, oh, it's up to the states. Well, some states are fucking fucked up. They're draconian at best. So, forcing some woman to go through that, and having her lose her life to having a baby, it's just like, dude, that's like seeing the parallels to today. It's fucking, it's insanely sad to me that our society that we live in, we're supposed to be so fucking advanced, but that's where we are right now. Like, serious, that's where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's shit like that would be happening in other states if they didn't have the possibility to like leave the state and go somewhere else. Shit like that, besides modern medicine, would happen right now, and it's fucking sad. And I think that most dudes will watch it and be like, yeah, it's fucked up, but good, thank God for now. But it's like, no, right now this is still an issue for women. Like every woman, any person that's capable of carrying a child, this is a possibility for them. We have modern medicine, but what the like, my partner Kay, she had to leave the room, and I was just like,
yep,
yeah, this is fucked up, and this is like how it was back then. Like we didn't really there wasn't a lot of value on women's lives back then, and some could argue in a valid way that we're eroding their value today. And it's pretty bad that, we want to use their bodies as like vessels for another human life, another possible human life. And in the show, like the kid didn't even fucking live for an hour. So you butchered your fucking wife, literally butchered your wife to have a son for 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, maybe, and I mean, you have an actual viable human that, that's living today, contributes today, and you want to put their life at risk for a possibility. And to me, it's just too much,
I had to step out of the room, Joe. Like I literally had to take fucking break. That shit was brutally fucking painful. And wasn't a quick scene. It was long as fuck.
Because it came up twice. I was like, bro, again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
They literally show the scene where they pull the kid out as well.
Yeah.
They come back out. So
yeah, and I'll just quickly say this too, like, don't get it fucking twisted. You know, especially if you're black or brown, especially if you're poor. That infant mortality rate in this fucking country in 2022 is well below all the most of the other Western countries. So I know people, especially Americans, are not used to hearing that, you know, America is number one. I'm telling you right now, America is very disproportionately fucked up when it comes to poor women having children, and a lot of them, way too many, not fucking making it. So this shit fucking hit home. It was timely. I like the fact that they didn't pull away in some ways, even though it was really fucking hard to watch. But at the same time that this is going on, you're seeing some of the most brutal violence, as Old Ninja was alluding to, in the joust. And they're cutting and pasting and going back and forth. And you're seeing people butcher them, you know, cut off arms and bash people's skulls in and whatnot. And of course, you know, we're used to that a little bit more with Game of Thrones. But this shit went harder than the Red Wedding, which was also fucking hard to watch. Go ahead.
So, as Cronenson brought up, the child did not survive. The thing about that scene, the end of actually, it's another scene that's tacked on, is where the king is holding the child next to his wife that's like slowly dying, if not already dead. The kid still has its umbilical cord, and everybody else is like talking about affairs. Like, what are you going to name the kid? Did y'all name the kid? What are you going to do about this? What about this? And he's just like, dude, my wife is like dying. I'm holding my newborn son. Like, I need a minute, type of thing. And then we cut through more of the jousting or whatnot. And then we find out the child dies. They have a funeral where everybody's there, and they do, you know, like this ceremonial burial with fire. They have the dragon immolates the mother and child, and everyone keeps talking about the king not having an heir. And his heir can't be female. His heir can't be a girl. But they don't say female; they say girl. The heir can't be a girl. He needs to do this. You know, they have like an emergency meeting. Like, what are you going to do? Well, if your wife is dead, your kid's dead, you need to name an heir. And he's like, hold on. It's literally the night of their death. And they're having a meeting about who his heir. Go ahead.
But remember, part of that was also, your brother, who is the heir, is wild as fuck.
Yeah, that was
a huge part of it. Go ahead.
I was about to get to that part because as he's trying to grieve, they're trying to push him to kind of name a male heir, which is the brother who's like who was literally leaving a whorehouse to come spy on their meeting, and he's like, and the king, he doesn't want to have to choose between, you know, the daughter and him. Most of his counsel's like, well, you can't choose the daughter anyway. You have to choose your brother. And then like other people have claims of, well, I'm like your third cousin twice removed. You should name me. And like, no, not doing that.
It's always funny, like when I was watching the show and the guy's the king, and people are like talking shit to him. Like, you could just fucking bitch slap them and then just have the guards kill him. Like,
right?
Like, what the like, if I'm the goddamn king, I'm doing kingly shit. And if you're like, you can't do, I'm like, oh, you can't do, I can't do what? Oh, well, guess what? You can't breathe no more. Strangle him.
But I'm sorry, real quick though. Don't forget, because I got to insert this. The brother needed some gas station dick pills in that whorehouse.
I was going to mention that.
He was struggling, you know what I mean? And we're used to fucking in Game of Thrones. Don't get me wrong, but he was not up for a good time. Let's just say that.
God dang! But he
with the turn of a phrase there. He wasn't.
But he kept going back, even though he's struggling. He went back. And the second time he goes back is where he fucks up. So where he says some shit that sets pretty much the rest of the series in motion. Very much similar to Game of Thrones episode 1, where they push Bronn out the window. The brother says some shit like he's drunk, makes a toast to the king for a day, making light of his nephew dying that day, and the king hears about it, and then he summons his brother to the Iron Throne, puts on his crown. That's when he starts doing, as Chrono says, some king shit. Because that's when he tells his brother, "You refer to me as your grace. Did you say this? Did you do this?" And the brother pretty much admits to it. He's like, "Well, I'm not gonna name you my heir. You're gonna go back to you and your fucking dumbass wife. You're gonna stay there until called for. Don't fucking ask for no handouts. Take your ass back." He tries to pull up on the king.
Sure
King's
does.
guards, the king's guards are right there. He's like, "You gonna do this to your brothers? I'll fuck what you said, fuck what you about. Take your ass back home."
And
And
also,
that's what he does.
let's be clear though, this dude was no Jimmy Lannister. He might have been a fighter, but he got his fucking ass kicked by a goddamn
Josh.
commoner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his ass kicked by a commoner.
Yeah.
So-
So
Wait. Was he a commoner though? The one from Doran? I thought he was.
He's commoner
No,
in
he was-
Westeros.
I'm pretty sure he was the guy who sits to the right of the king. He has a title.
The hand?
He's
It wasn't the hand.
no,
The hand's son?
no, not the hand.
That wasn't the hand's
No.
son because he got
It-
fucked up. He had a bad
No, he
day.
was the son of like his one of his councils. The guy on the right. I don't know. I don't remember his title at the moment, but
Okay, well,
it was like
there-
his son.
the hand, his son, got fucked up
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
by the brother. So
Yep.
Yeah. So the brothers went, and then we get the king. He relents, and he names. I keep thinking Rhea Silva because that's from Destiny.
is it Rhaenyra? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
it's
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. Yeah.
It is
Also,
Rhaenyra.
Real quick,
It's
she's
so
30
cool.
years old. So
Oh,
the
shit.
actress, she's
Wait,
30
who?
years old. The
Rhaenyra,
actress that
the
plays
young- the
Rhaenyra,
princess.
she's 30 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, she looks 14. But he officially names her his heir in front of a dead dragon. There's like a room with a giant dead dragon. I believe that's in Game of Thrones, except it's bones.
Yes. Well, I
At
mean,
the
it
end.
was bones, and that one is a skull.
I thought they still had skin on it, but
no,
I
it was
wasn't
definitely
really
a
paying
skull.
that.
That was-
I wasn't paying
I
that
watched it recently, so
attention. Yeah. So, but he tells the student queen about their ancestor Aegon Targaryen, who had a dream about a great winter and about whatever's inside this storm, inside the winter, will destroy the world of men. And this is a family secret that they've passed on through generations, at least I believe 2 generations. And he passes this secret on to her. This is why a Targaryen must remain on the throne in order to unite the worlds of men. And he makes his daughter promise to not tell this to anyone, but to pass this to her heir.
But
Mhm.
also, this is hilarious because literally, like in the same episode, he talked about his dream of having his son surpassing him, and yeah, he definitely didn't.
Yeah, he sure
So,
didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he did pass him in death. He died before him.
yeah, that's true.
Sometimes dreams don't mean shit. But then the other thing I was gonna say, which was extra slimy, and I think we kind of glossed over this.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
That-
about this.
The
Go ahead.
hand of the fucking king, who's on the council, he did send his teenage daughter to comfort
Yeah,
the king.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's extra gross.
Rest-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your mama's best dress on
Yes.
and go see him right now. And I couldn't think of anything fucking slimier. Like literally, he was like, "It'd be a great thing for me politically if the king were to knock you up." You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure would be. And she literally asked him like, I'm to go see the king and do what? He's like, comfort him, just be by his side. I don't know, think of something. And I'm like, oh damn, he just pimped out his daughter. Go
Yeah.
handle business. Make sure that he implants you with a kid.
Yeah. I mean, what makes it worse, obviously, is she obviously knows not only the king, but she's besties with the king's daughter as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
mean, like-
she's scissor besties. Maybe that's the name of the podcast, Scissor Besties.
I was about to say about these. I mean, sisters,
This was just fucking slimy. But real quick to rewind, how about the fucking Iron Throne is badass as shit. Like
yeah,
you
there's a lot
see
more swords.
Oh yeah,
the
looks way better.
swords.
Yeah.
Like that, it was cool. I was like, wait a minute, was that in the old one? I was like, no, wait.
No. Yeah.
So that was cool.
But also, I don't know if y'all picked up on this. I have a theory, just a theory.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
So remember when the king was talking about how he had like a sword on his back because he got poked by the throne? I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
it's. I'm pretty sure it's like whatever the version of staph infection is
Yep.
back in
Oh,
their day. I'm pretty sure it's staph, and I'm pretty sure the brother is putting on something on the throne that is fucking him up because when he sat down again and he pricked his thumb on the throne and it didn't heal correctly, I had to like wrap it up, and it was just
Mhm.
like, oh, what the like after he just like chided him. I'm pretty because remember the brother sat on the throne when Rhaenyra, pretty sure I pronounced her name,
yeah.
when she went in to go see him, and he was just sitting on the fucking throne. It's like,
He
what are you
sure was.
doing here?
But he wasn't sitting. No, he wasn't sitting normally. He was like he had his feet up, kind of. He was sitting at like an angle.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's like putting some shit on the throne just to infect his brother.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
my theory.
And
Okay.
it's working because I think there's validity to your theory. It's working because them wounds are not fucking healing. And also the king just seems weak and fragile. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like he
that's what incest does, but you know,
yeah,
Oh God, dang.
uh, there you fucking go.
I mean,
Can
surprised it's not fucking a cyclops, to be honest.
we
So.
can we get to brother man with the locks though?
Oh
Not
yes.
drinking. He was just like, look it. These folks are crazy. These folks are wild. You don't skip my cup. You can't. You can't.
I like how you said that. These folks. Anyway,
These,
Yeah.
so
these
y'all think of
people.
that if you want, but yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's like no, y'all, you save me from this shit.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
he's married to
The rightful heir.
yeah, and she has. I feel like she barely said a word in this entire episode, but you see
She
her
said
often.
she says like maybe two lines in there, and it's chastising what they're watching. She's like talking shit, and they have their kids. They have two kids right in front of them. So
Mhm. Well, the other thing that's really interesting about that, though, is if she's the rightful heir, and obviously there's some, blatantly anti woman being on the throne shit going on, but she had to, just like her husband, pledge loyalty to the throne when, sorry, our girl, what's her name again?
Rhaenyra,
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra.
yeah, I mean she is. I mean, with the king, it's his direct descendants, but the king has the power to appoint
Hmm.
someone within the family to be the heir, and she's his. I don't. Is that his sister? Because I never heard them say sister.
I'm pretty sure she's the older sister,
Okay.
so that's why
Oh,
she's the rightful heir. She should be, you know, if you're not a misogynist, the rightful
Yeah, yeah.
heir.
But to them, if the brother, because he had no son, was the next in line, which they all thought he was going to appoint, but they all knew that he'd be too
So
wild. He'd
no,
be trying
hold
to
on,
fucking
hold
suck.
on. Let's rewind a little bit. Before, like that, who's the king currently in the show? Should not be the king. It
yeah.
should be the oldest daughter. But this is when it comes to like fucked up man shit. So she should have been the heir. But
Mm.
Yeah,
he,
yeah.
he picked the youngest son or whatever. Or I guess maybe the oldest son, but it should have been her.
Yeah, but what was interesting to me is it didn't seem like the current king and the should be queen have much of a relationship at all. There seems like there is a rivalry. They don't talk
I
for
mean,
shit.
yeah, you
Well, I think she
would
lives.
you want to have a relationship with somebody that just like stole your fucking birthright? I mean,
I,
Well, then
I
again,
I totally get that, but then at the same time, there's been a huge pair of deaths in the family. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But I also feel like it seems they allude to that she lives in the far lands, like she lives near the water, because we know in the original Game of Thrones, Westeros is pretty far from like all the fishing, like clans or houses. So
I think that's sort of incorrect because Westeros is literally on the water. It's a coast.
it's on a hill cliff, yeah, but they don't.
Where's the cliff go to?
But they don't have like apparently they don't have fishing good or a shipping line.
Yes,
They
they
have
do. They have literally. they have port. There's a port city.
Okay,
Did-
but
Didn't the imp or yeah, the imp do something at the port like with
yeah,
that?
because
Well,
they had Euron, who was trying to wed the queen from Game of Thrones. He had a whole vast fleet.
Well,
Apparently,
he
they lack at Westeros.
Euron was he lived on an island, but Westeros, like where King's Landing is, it's literally a port city.
Okay.
I mean, if you,
Um,
every time they show King's Landing, there's the cliffs and it's just water, and you see the ports there. Like, remember when they went to go attack, well, when they're getting attacked by Euron, they were
Mhm.
attacking from the port. They were attacking from it was like a bay. I'm pretty sure it was like a bay, and
Something
they
like
got
that.
fucked up by a goddamn dragon. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, you could have a port to, probably receive, but it doesn't look like it didn't appear as if they were doing any real business at the port. It was only there to receive like goods. Like it didn't seem
goods
like they had a
is-
fleet,
that is business. So,
but it
Any-
didn't
any-
seem like they had a fleet.
Like
I
a
don't
nip-
no,
remember
they had a
back
fleet,
in the Navy.
but also if you have dragons, you don't really need a fucking fleet. Back
True.
then,
You got an Air Force.
yeah, Air
which
Force,
nobody else has.
yeah, especially back then. Like if you have any sort of air superiority, you don't really need a lot of boats. But they definitely had, port trade in King's Landing.
Yeah, I tend to remember some port stuff multiple times. I feel like the city, the deeper you go into the city, you're a little bit further away from the port because, like,
Yes.
you know what I mean. Like, I remember seeing some shit from above, especially in the last episode or two. King's Landing is kind of winding and up a hill and whatnot, but there's still a port. There's still some kind of fucking naval or maritime fucking trade that goes on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, but here's what would be helpful. Just like in the fucking first series, a fucking map. And maybe they'll do that later.
Yeah.
I love that shit. That was one of my favorite things, you know?
Yeah.
And especially when they would add like new shit to the map, like, oh shit, that's the wall. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh, that's beyond the wall. That's where they fucking are. Like, that shit was cool as shit. Or when we saw Dorne or whatever the fuck on the map, that was awesome.
Yeah, we saw Dorne. Yeah,
And I think that's like this is almost like a second coming of like fantasy in general for at least an American audience, because this is a fantasy book that's come to life, and like having like silly shit like a map goes a long goddamn way to like understand where shit is, because it's super easy to forget like where things are in your head, but if you have a physical representation of like where it is, it's way more awesome. And I love when fantasy books do something like that to like give you like a visual reminder of like where things are in this universe or place.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, fucking Lord of the
It's
Rings
hard to
has a
know the
fucking map.
distance.
Yeah.
And remember, there was multiple events going on in Game of Thrones that were like hundreds of miles apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like more than a day's horse fucking ride. So that shit was dope as fuck. I'd love to see that return. And then kind of alluding to your point, Kronos, yeah, we're in a fucking maybe another golden era because we have not only House of the Dragons, but we're right at the cusp of Amazon's, Ring
Lord
of
the
Power.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
in
then
2 weeks or a week.
Yeah. And so these are going to be competing.
I'm surprised that I haven't like gotten a thing for this yet.
I thought you were just keeping it on the low.
No, usually I'll tell you guys if I get early access to like major things like The Boys or even like League of Their Own and Paper Girls. Like I'll let you guys know. But yeah, this one I have nothing on yet.
Shit.
I got to talk about.
you
Go ahead.
you haven't talked about Paper Girls.
I cause I only watched like the first episode because Kay didn't want to
Oh.
watch the rest of it. But
Okay.
as far as I was concerned, it was really good from like the comic book perspective. But what I want to talk about a little bit more. Are we done with?
Yeah, we
okay.
pretty much covered all of it. So
I want to talk briefly. Well, maybe not briefly, because I don't know you guys' take on this yet. But A League of Their Own. It took a really. It's out now, yeah, because I'm watching it on Prime now. It took a really solid, like, different direction from the movie, and I think it's going to be super hit or miss for the audience because if you're expecting A League of Their Own being led by a Tom Hanks' character leading a bunch of women to like winning a championship for baseball. That is not what you're gonna get in this show. Okay. And if you're an older person, like we all are, I hate saying older. I just turned fucking 43, so I guess I am older. All right, but that's not what you're gonna get. But I think it's for a good reason, because when you think about like the actual timeline of when A League of Their Own came out, it was during World War II, and the story they told was not realistic at all. Like it wasn't. Like when you talk about like the women that were playing baseball, and the fact that there was like they never even addressed people of color anywhere in the movie, like at all. Like from what I remember, it was all just.
There was one wink and a nod to it, and it was subtle.
Yeah, that's not enough when it comes to like that era, because this is like through like the civil rights era, pretty close. Well, I was in the 40s, so it was leading up to. There was definitely civil unrest for people of color. It was starting up. Not even starting up. It was still continuing through. Anyway, they definitely addressed, first of all, people of color and women's issues of like their men being away, and actually, queer people in the show. And I think that's probably way more likely than the portrayal that we're used to from like the movie in the 90s. Because if you're going to tell me that, the vast majority of, able-bodied men got sent to a foreign country to fight a war, that there would be no like change in the women populace in America, I would say you're probably just, that's not accurate. Like there's probably going to be people that are just like, there's probably going to be a rise in lesbianism and queer people and people just wanting to act the way they want to act while their spouse is away, and also people of color, like what they're going through, like replacing jobs for traditionally white male roles during the war. And they definitely do address way better in this show. It wasn't a wink and a nod. It's very direct, especially because like one of the characters is a African American female who is trying to get on a male baseball team, and then also a female baseball team, and like seeing like the issues that she's having with both of those. And I think it's well done for me, but I can also see if somebody's just like, oh my god, this is too much. Like there's too many of the fucking rainbow people, Like okay, I guess, but I really like the show because I think it's more honest than the original movie.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but that may be one of the great things about a series versus a movie as well. Yeah. Just you have an opportunity with more screen time to dive a little deeper on things. I mean, remember, it went a different direction, but the Watchmen movie and obviously comic book, the Watchmen series, that went all kinds of different areas that I didn't see coming. And I love that fucking roller coaster, and it brought in much more context of the larger world at that fucking time. So I'll give it a fucking shot. You know what I mean? It sounds interesting. I loved the movie back in the day. I thought it was really fucking cool. I've seen it multiple times since.
Oh, sorry, the main actress for you probably like it because the main actress, one of the main actresses, was in one of those shows that you like. What was it called? Like
Food is Anonymous?
No. It's
Reviewer? I don't think Interspecies Reviewers had it.
No, it was a fucking. It's in two white chicks that were like.
Oh, Two Broke Girls?
No, they're kind of like.
Oh, Broad City?
Yeah, I think it was one of the chicks from Broad City is in that.
Oh, is it that my girl Alana or the other one?
I gotta look up now.
Okay.
Yeah, I like them both. They were hilarious.
I will tell you in a second here.
The one athletic. I bet it's the one I'm thinking of.
Is it Abby Jackson?
Yeah.
That might be her.
Yeah. Really talented. Yeah. They were great on that series. Both of them. So is that her?
Let's look it up. Yes, that is her.
Cool.
Yeah, she is Carson. Yeah. The League of Their Own. Yeah, that's her. And she plays a good role in this.
Very nice. Real quick Bay Area kind of history and whatnot. if you're in the Bay Area and haven't
Jacobson,
ever
sorry, Abby Jacobson.
Jacobson, yeah,
Yeah.
she's good. If you're in the Bay Area and never have heard of it or been a part of it, in that same fucking time period, there's the Rosie the Riveter Museum,
Yeah.
and it's right over. It's either in Richmond or Vallejo, but it's fucking certainly Bay Area. I think it's Richmond proper.
I did not go, but yeah, this is literally like they address that, like women
Yep.
taking over traditionally male jobs in, like, you know, industrial work. And,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and all by design, and that you talk about leading an event that spurred the women's rights movement. You know, women working and earning money of their own was huge. So, yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna
All
wrap it up.
all good. Yeah, all good. Let's wrap it up though. Old Ninja, what you got?
We didn't talk about it, but gonna be watching She-Hulk episode 2 probably tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't talk about She-Hulk at all. I actually, real quick, what are your thoughts about the show? Just tell me if you liked it or you didn't like it. That's it.
I liked it.
Okay.
But I'm going to like a 2-day birthday celebration thing earlier next week. Gonna be at I can't think of the name, but it's a brewery that's like in the mountains off of 280. It's next to a stream or like an old creek. It's got like some like some old artifacts in the 1800s from the California stuff that's there. But it's a nice brewery. It's in the middle of like the forest kind of thing. I'll be there. I'll be there for a birthday thing, and then we're doing another thing the following night. I'm gonna try to finish Westworld. This series season finale was like last week, and I haven't caught up. And watching some of this with Lock and Key. Did y'all catch this bonus episode of The Sandman?
No, I still
I'm
gotta finish watching the show.
Okay.
I'm working my way through, but everything y'all said last week is absolutely correct. I fucking love it.
It's a great
Okay.
That's a great.
And then just trying to stay cool because it's been fucking hot up here for some weird reason, and it's been like weird, like sometimes it's weird overcast, but it's like super humid.
Yeah, it's like that down here too.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I guess we're all gonna die in the next 3 months, I guess. So that's it for me.
Cronus, what you got?
I'm still moving in, to my new place. The new Infinity base is actually quite large. It's kind of nice. Like literally the build, like what you're seeing me in, it's literally a shed. So it's kind of getting back to the roots of the show again, I guess. I like the building, but also I'm gonna move in a year. So
Shit.
yeah, I'm trying to get back to like a normal schedule now. I found a new jiu-jitsu gym, and I look forward to going back tomorrow and training again and getting back into my normal routine. I've been without my normal routine for over 2 years now, and it's really been bothering me. It's affected my life significantly. So looking forward to getting back to that. And I look forward to actually going back up to the Bay Area in 2 weeks to go to the Chin wedding. So Mr. X is getting married, and I look forward to coming up there and seeing them and all my friends that are up there. So yeah, and I'm also looking forward to playing more Saints Row, and I'm actually putting more focus on getting into better shape. I'm not in bad shape by any means, but I think I need to take it up another notch. Maybe I'll take some of the finest Mexican supplements to get there. I don't know. No, I'm definitely not. I'm just going to get in normal shape.
Mike, wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, I'm close to Tijuana. I mean, I could probably get them.
That's true. Run across the border. Be back.
Tijuana has the best gas station dick pills. But
They also have the best gas because it's cheap as fuck down there. I need to re-up my goddamn passport because we're so goddamn close. It's like, what, fucking 10 miles away? Not even that.
Run for the border.
Yeah.
Good shit. For me, I am definitely going to be playing all of this Destiny 2. That shit has gotten in my fucking psyche. I like being a guardian and shit, so I'm really enjoying all that DLC. I didn't get a chance to properly shit all up on Kathy Yan
They gave her another live action directing debut. I will shit on her more next week. My mail obviously went unread. Fuck that Beezy. And then I'm gonna for sure see some Dragon Ball Superhero, the fucking movie, #1 movie in fucking North America last weekend. I heard great things about it. So
remember back in the day when like actually I think back in the day you probably didn't even watch Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, back in like
not the original.
Yeah.
I started with like a late weeb.
Okay, so back in like the early mid '90s when Dragon Ball first came out, it was like only goddamn nerds like me were like watching that. Actually, I was like, honestly, I was only I was almost too much of like not a nerd. I was still a nerd, you know, but I was like socially acceptable, sort of, way more than others that were watching Dragon Ball at the time. Not even Z, Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, and it's just amazing to see anime proliferate. You know, the American culture. Like I never, even though I literally started the anime club at my high school, but I never would have thought that anime would have just exploded to be culturally acceptable today. It's amazing. I fucking love it.
Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion doing her concert as Sailor Moon.
So
yeah.
The great thing about her is she'll cosplay as all kind of anime all kind of anime characters, and she'll go to Tokyo and she'll go to like the JoJo Museum and like she's a serious weeb all the way around.
Yeah, but she did her content basically in cosplay at a huge event. Like there's thousands of people there. So
yeah, honestly, it made me like. When I heard that song about, I forget the name of the song, but she was talking about getting eaten out to somebody while watching Naruto. And I was just like, okay, like I'm sold now. You got me. I mean, I'm listening to music now. Like body, I got it. All right, you're cool now. So I mean, you've probably always been cool your entire fucking life, but for a nerd like me, I was just like, you're talking about shit that most people don't talk about, and and going to Japan. And dressing up as Sailor Moon with their ass hanging out, like so. When I first saw the pictures, I saw her from the front, and I was like, "Oh yeah, she's like Sailor Moon." But then I saw a video, and I was like, "Oh, ho ho ho,
yeah,
that is only half a skirt, ma'am." So yeah, and the half is in the front. It's not the half in like the
back.
Yeah, thank you. Ma'am.
Miss Ma'am.
Face pussy and anime pussy. All right, Elevator, take us out.
Oh, wow. You just experienced Black and Black times Infinity, the dankest podcast on the internet. Check us out anywhere and everywhere with B, then BTI. That's BTHAN, BTI. Anywhere and everywhere you listen to the podcast. Yes, that means Apple Podcasts. Yes, that means Spotify. Yes, iHeartRadio. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're there. On Amazon, we have an app to let you know when we go live. You can watch us on it. Check out our official website, binheadproductions.com/BTI. You can email us at bthenbti@gmail.com. We have a Discord. A lot of people still don't know, but there's a good amount of people in there, but email us, let us know you want to join the Discord. We'll send you an invite, get you up in there. You'll get some exclusive stuff in there, more candid talk, more dankness that you need.
No dick pics.
Oh, unless you're Fuda, I guess, then you can send it back to Prodigy privately. Because not the rest of us ain't trust you guys.
All right, y'all.
Yet many questions remain unanswered.